For those of you joining us on the stream, it's good evening to you. For the Moors, of course, they are looking to avenge that 2-1 defeat against Woking. Yeah. But now here we go with the ball being played back towards Gleeson. Chasing it down the left-hand side is Jordan Cranston. He is up against Hall Johnson. There's just been a little bit of a trip, but does not go punished by the referee. Hall Johnson is not happy with that decision at all from a Wrexham perspective, but it is going to be a throw right in front of Wrexham's own corner flag. Hall Johnson right beneath my commentary position. As a matter of fact, I am quite considerably far away towards the drain end where the Moors are attacking compared to the view that you see here this evening, as Callum Howe just gets on the end of a ball. Looks like Carl Storer was trying to nod it forward, but it was cleared away by Kelleher and now played back by James Ball. Back to Ryan Boot. Boot will go across to Darren Carter. So it is that back three that we expected with Carter in the middle. Gudger just lining up towards the left side. So that's how things are going to pan out with those two being together. And Howe is on the ball now, just playing short to Gleeson. The Moors, of course, under Jimmy Shan, do love to keep possession where they can. And here comes a long ball from Howe. Somewhat wayward it is into the path of Hall Johnson, who's looking for a ball, looking for the run of Kwame Thomas down the right flank, but it's going to go well wide of him and actually out for a throw-in. So Wrexham, and indeed the Moors as well, looking to get into positions where they can play the long ball. I think the long ball is going to be a key for Wrexham. They're going to need to get Kwame Thomas into the game. They're going to need to get him heading those balls down towards the likes of Rutherford and getting him into position to attack. Young as well, of course, getting himself on the score sheet on Saturday, albeit from a free kick, but that's the kind of the route to success you feel from a Wrexham perspective, as there is a free kick in the Moors half. Carl Storer just leaving this for Gleeson, who wanted to take it quickly, but the referee not allowing him to do so. Of course, the referee today is Thomas Parsons. Howe over on the right-hand side at the moment, looking to play short to Tyrone Williams. James Ball was calling for it, but it goes backwards. This is what you can expect to see from the Moors, just looking to keep possession, take what the opposition are giving to them. Carter looking to play backwards through Storer to his goalkeeper, and now out to Howe just towards the right-hand side, and back to Ryan Boot once again. Worth mentioning, of course, that there is no Adi Yusuf in the Wrexham team. He picked up an injury in the first half against Boreham Wood, as there's a tough collision there between Young and Cranston. Wrexham getting the throw on that particular exchange. Do apologise if you can hear some of the language coming from the Wrexham goalkeeper, Rob Lainton, there. Very impassioned urges going out towards his outfield players as Kelleher plays a ball back his way, and Lainton clears before Archer gets there. Never really a danger there. A good flick on there coming from Bickerstaff on towards Thomas, but it's lost and over to the Moors. Gleeson trying to play it up towards Archer, but Archer can't control the ball, but he can't keep it as Wrexham steal it away. They have plenty of red shirts back there. Looks like Jordan Davies is just sitting right in front of the defence, and it's actually Thomas really in the middle of the front three. We would have expected to see Kwame Thomas out towards the right of a front three, just given that that was the role that he so often played for the Moors. That was, of course, where he lined up and won a lot of long balls, and that was really a big part of the success for the Moors in 18-19, as a ball just threatens to break through towards Bickerstaff there, but Ryan Boot alert to it and clears away from the edge of the area, and now Hall Johnson playing back to his goalkeeper under pressure from Joe Sabara. Lainton playing across towards Theo Vassell, who nearly got a goal on Saturday with a free header in the first half against Boreham Wood. At that point, Wrexham were 1-0 up and looking to rather kill the game off at that point. Kelleher just playing across to Vassell at the moment, as Wrexham, just like the Moors, looking really to take what the Moors are willing to give them. And at the moment, neither team appears to be giving the other much in the way of room, as there's a bit of a ricochet there that sees Wrexham get the throw on the left-hand side, and Jamie Record will get this one away from the car park side stands. And here's Kelleher. looking to play the long ball, it appears that Thomas is the man there looking to win that. Tyrone Williams getting back to nod the ball away. Williams, of course, will be very defensively responsible for a right wing back. We can only assume that Cameron Cox is out with some kind of injury. Oh, as Carter struggles to get a ball away then. It's rather flash across the area. Reece Hall-Johnson trying to play it back in, and there's a header out there from a Moors perspective. It breaks in towards the middle, but there is Gleeson able to clear up on the edge of the area, just getting it away there from Jay Harris. And now here's Cranston trying to get Archer in with a long ball, but Keller seeing that one safely back towards Leighton under pressure from Cameron Archer. Here comes Kelleher now, looking once again for the long ball. He's going to play short towards the inside there, and that's Jay Harris just playing back towards Jordan Davis. The long through ball is initially won by Tyrone Williams, but actually comes back towards Rutherford, who is playing towards the left as we thought he might. Kyle Storer just getting in the way of a ball there, and now it's back with Record. Now it's come back to Vassell, and across to Kelleher. He's got Hall-Johnson assisting him to his right-hand side, but Keller is going to go for the long ball, looking towards Kwame Thomas, who tries to nod it back, but only finding James Ball, and it's cleared away by the Moors. So at the moment, it feels as if the two teams are really just trying to figure each other out, see where they can exploit spaces, and at the moment, there's not much either way, but I'm sure this game will open up as it progresses. Here's hoping it does anywho, as Kelleher plays across to Vassell. Now towards the left-hand side with Jamie Record. Record looking for the run of Rutherford, but how is there to help out? And the ball was actually going wide anyway, so it goes out for a throw, which Tyrone Williams will take from midway inside his own half. Looks as if Williams is just going to try and get this one down the right-hand side. Ball is there to try and nod it on towards Archer. And now here it comes up towards Ball. It is Jordan Davis just getting up there, nodding it out, but Ty will take that and get the ball back into play from a more advanced position this time. Going backwards this time towards Ball, and the good pressing there from Rutherford that forces him back towards Howe. Howe will look for the chip ball down the right side, and a lot of holding there between both Archer and Vassell. Really hard to tell who the guilty party was, and the referee agreeing, letting the ball go. No free kick going either way, but now there's a chance for Archer to race onto something. However, Kelleher deals with that. Goodger just seeing it out of play down the right-hand side from a Wrexham perspective, and there's a whistle going here. The referee clearly wants a chat with someone. Thought initially that may have been an issue with where the throw-in was being taken. Certainly didn't look from our perspective as if there was any issue with that. Either way, the game is back underway with a chip ball from Harris looking for Kwame Thomas, but it is seen out by the Moors, and they get the throw through Cranston. For those of you just tuning into the stream here on Solihull Moors TV, it is Moors 0, Wrexham 0, as you will of course know. That is of course the disadvantages of being used to radio commentary, as the ball comes through here towards Kelleher, but there is a bit of a shove there, so Wrexham will get the free kick in what could be a dangerous area. And they will indeed look to play this one in towards the box. Kelleher will see the invitation to go forward. You presume so too will Vassell. It's going to be Davis getting this one in. It's going to be an in-swinger with the left foot. And this is a very similar position to where the free kick came from that Vassell should have headed in at the weekend. And here it comes. It's going to be chipped in, coming towards the goal mouth. It looks like that might have been housing that one off there. And then an ambitious effort from the edge of the area. That one coming from Harris and not troubling Ryan Boot, just going wide comfortably in the end to the left of his goal. And now a bit of potential danger here for the Moors as Gleeson tries to play it back towards Boot, and Boot doing a decent job of keeping that in play there. And James Ball gets a good turn on Record. Now there's a chance for Storer to play forward, and here comes Archer down the right-hand side. Just a bit of a collision there between the defenders. Looks like there might have been a trip from Archer, on Vassell, and the free kick does indeed go the way of Wrexham. And you can hear there Darren Carter giving as much encouragement as he can to Cameron Archer, who it does look as if he is going to have to chase down an awful lot of long balls, what with the ability to pass the ball around. There just doesn't seem to be any room for the Moors to operate in at the moment. Not really much room for either team to operate in at the moment. We're just beyond the 10-minute mark, and you would say really that Wrexham are just edging this one so far. As here comes the free kick from Leighton. It's going right down towards Thomas. It is Gudger who wins the header. It's Harris trying to go up high forward and climbing all over the back of one of the Moors midfielders there. And that is going to be a free kick to the home side. Just going to be a bit of stoppage in play as the Moors player in question, and it is Carl Storer who went down there. He is up and fine, as you can see, and the ball now coming across to Alex Gudger, playing outside towards Cranston as they look for a 1-2. Now the ball will come across the centre of defence, and here is Howe. To Williams on the right-hand side. Back to Carter. And now towards Storer, and now Carter looking for the chance to try and play a through ball, and it does end up with James Ball. Now across to the right-hand side, and this is Tyrone Williams. First time the Moors have really been in a good position so far, and he takes on Rutherford, looking to get a cross in. It's low, but could come towards the bar, but in the end, it was actually Ball who turned and had the shot, and it wasn't too bad of an effort, but you do feel that maybe Sabara was just better placed there in terms of his momentum going towards the ball. He might have been able to get more power on it, may have Sabara, but either way, the Moors getting the first real clear sight on goal in this game. They've not necessarily controlled the possession, but once they found the space there, they threatened to take advantage. It's Gleeson now trying to play outside right towards Tyrone Williams, and Moore's just looking like they have a little bit more energy in them, just looking a bit more urgent after that opportunity as Storer plays the 1-2 with Carter. Of course, so often where you've seen Carter play that in from a central midfield position, and the Moors not too happy there with, it appears that was Harris who kicked the ball away after the ball bounced into his arm. So it is a free kick, and now here's Gleeson trying to chip the ball through towards Sabara. Sabara trying to pressure Reece Hall-Johnson. He does get there. Good work there from Sabara. Always a lot of hustle. Cranston going for the low cross, and is cleared away there. Looks like it was Kelleher that got that one away, but we'll see Jordan Cranston try to boom in one of those long throws, unless Gleeson wants to set one up short, which he does look to do initially, and now it looks like Cranston will just go and do the same anyway. Now here is Gleeson. Going to chip it inside towards Ball. Decent control from him. He's got Sabara helping him, but getting a foot in there is Davis. Moors will nonetheless have the throw. Just inside of Wrexham territory once again. Here is Cranston going back towards Gleeson. And now it comes across to Howe. Howe taking the opportunity to venture inside Wrexham territory. Goes outside right towards Williams. Ball is there as a short option if he wants, but it goes back Howe's way. Now here's Storer. Towards Gleeson. Cranston is available in space, and he chooses to chip it through to Cranston, but it's just beyond him. Unfortunate there. Cranston just... we can see him just smiling as the ball passes by him, but you can tell that that smile was all about his respect for the idea and the creativity that looked to pick him out there. Hall-Johnson will get the throw-in away now. Almost going beyond Gudger, and there's a bit of a collision between he and Kwame Thomas, former teammates. Of course, Callum Howe will just have to clean up there. The route back to Ryan Boot was probably just about cut off. It's going to be Hall-Johnson that will come down the right-hand side to try and get this throw in. Of course, we are here on Saturday as well for the visit of Kings Lynn Town. And I think we'll see them playing a similar sort of shape to the shape that Tim Flowers' Moors side played in 2018-19. They do play a hybrid 4-3-3. It's similar to what Wrexham are actually playing at the moment, as Leighton just trying to get it down towards Thomas. Howe winning the header on the edge of the area. It's coming towards Ball, who doesn't quite win it against Record. Now Record trying to play it forward down the left-hand side. Looks like that might have been Rutherford trying to flick it back Record's way, but it's all a bit too clever as it goes out for a throw-in on the right-hand side. I suppose it's going to be that kind of magic on an evening like this that will see one of the defences undone. Or at least that seems to be what you would expect given the evidence so far of this game, as a ball just comes off of James Ball and deflects out for a throw. And taken quickly by Record towards Keller. Hall Johnson is towards his right hand side. Keller rather divers on it for a second, wasn't sure what to do. Gets it towards Davis, and now here's Hall Johnson. It's going to go across the defence here now for Sell. Just playing straight to Record, and now on the inside here is Rutherford as Wrexham really just trying to find the space once again that the Moors are giving them, and what the Moors are giving them is very little. But now there could be space opening up towards the left-hand side. It's Davis plays a ball towards Record. Now a flick on by Harris. That may have come off of Tyrone Williams' hands there. And a good challenge. Looks like Callum Howe coming out from the centre of defence, and indeed it was. And he gets it out for a Wrexham throw, but it could be space for a cross here. And that space is going to be taken. It's going towards the back of the penalty area there, and Reece Hall Johnson, that cross really quite overhit in the end. Hall Johnson, that was all he could do to try and get his head on it, and it did not pan out as he would have liked, looking to get a ball back across the penalty area there. So all in all, as we just go past the 15-minute mark, it does feel as if it is the Moors just trying to press the issue, but when they get the ball, they're trying to press the issue anywho, but they're not really afraid of trying to frustrate Wrexham in possession. Really quite even so far, but the Moors have created the one really decent opportunity in this game so far, with Ball firing low towards the left-hand side of Leighton's goal, and Leighton making a comfortable save in the end. As now the ball comes across the left-hand side with Gudger. Going to Cranston, could find Gudger in space here. Cranston keeps the ball in play. We could see that clearly. We probably had the best view of the house for that one. Carter across to Callum Howe. Looking for help initially down the middle, but then he goes across to Williams, and now here's Howe inside to Storr, and this is good high pressing here by Harris, forcing it back to Carter, and now Gleeson. Really, the pressing that we've seen from Wrexham so far has been akin to the pressing that we saw from the Moors in pre-season, as Archer loses the ball there towards Young, and he's going to go across to the left-hand side from a Wrexham perspective. Tyrone Williams turning. Good instincts there from Tyrone Williams, knowing exactly where Rutherford was and feeling the comfort to allow that one to go out for a throw. Now there could be a chance for a long ball here, but it doesn't quite reach Archer. However, the control on the chest from Vassell is not the best, and Archer's got it across to Williams here. Sabara in the middle, but Williams might want to go for it himself, and he tries to, but it is blocked by the sliding challenge there. Kelleher could still be the attack alive for the Moors, as Gleeson could find Cranston to the left-hand side. He was in space, but it goes right instead. And here it goes across the box. It could reach Cranston, and Cranston tried to play it back in towards the middle, and it looks like that was Hall Johnson there, just scrambling it away. Wrexham looking a bit unsure of what to do with themselves there. And in the end, the result is a throw-in for Gleeson just inside of the Wrexham half. Cranston will have this one. He's not going to go long from there, so it will go back to Gleeson and now back to Darren Carter. But the Moors, when they'd certainly had less of the possession so far, but when they are on the ball, they are making things happen. There's no question about that. Tyrone Williams just beginning to find some space out towards the right-hand side, but at the moment it's back in the heart of the defence for the Moors, with Carter short to Gleeson as they play the 1-2. And now here is Carl Storr. It could be dispossessed, and is dispossessed. Can Howe recover? Yes, he can. That was very fortunate. Howe was in perfect position there and anticipated the mistake perfectly. But Harris has been perhaps the best in terms of the way that Wrexham have been pressing the ball, so it wasn't too much of a surprise to see him force a mistake there. But now the Moors looking to make things happen with a good passing play here, with Sabara trying to pick out Cranston, but getting in the way is Keller, but Sabara caught there on a follow-through, and so free kick Moors just inside their own half, and that draws a round of applause from those around about 30 yards to what should be my right, but I'm effectively facing that direction. Of course, being on the far side of the pitch, I'm in front of the penalty area at the drain end, as Carter just here is playing a ball outside towards Callum Howe. Looking for options down the middle, then breaking out towards the right. Howe is looking to go middle all the time, and that is perhaps opening some space up for Tyrone Williams here. Not able to take advantage that time with the Moors, but certainly that seems to be throwing Wrexham off a little bit, just from an instinctive perspective more than anything. Williams playing the 1-2 with Howe. Now once again, as it goes back to Darren Carter in the middle and across to Gudger. Gudger looking for the through ball. Sabara not quite able to control it and losing it to Young, but Gudger is there to make amends on the ball. Back for Bickerstaff, and this could be here. Archer in a good position, shrugs off the challenge, and does he get a free kick? Yes, he does, and looks like Keller is going to go in the book for that, which is soft, but Keller knew what he was doing there. That was pretty good strength from Archer, to be honest, and I wonder if from a Moors perspective, you're almost disappointed that you got the free kick there, because it looked like he did have 1 or 2 players in support, but either way, the Moors will get the free kick, so they'll still get a chance to get a cross in. It could be Gleeson with the in-swinger, but Cranston, of course, an interested party as well. You can hear the encouragement just there coming from Jimmy Shan towards Darren Carter. It looked like it was going Carter's way anyway. Carl Storer was stood in that particular area. It's going to be Cranston from this free kick. Gudger and Howe forward. The line for this free kick is pretty much directly aligned with where I am. Now the cross coming in towards the back post. Gudger trying to slide to keep it in play but couldn't do so. It wasn't the worst of free kicks from Cranston, but it was maybe just a slight touch too overhit in terms of trying to get a head on it. But that's what the Moors can do with so many big players. Of course, James Ball can get involved in these set pieces. Carter, Gudger and Howe can all get forward. So too can Tyrone Williams if he wants to. I suspect we won't see Ty forward for too many set pieces tonight just because he is the wing back and the Moors generally don't bring the wing backs up for corners. But certainly there's plenty of ways to attack those set pieces from a Moors perspective. They can have players out towards the flanks just trying to keep balls in play, as Gudger tried to do just then. Of course, the goal kick has been taken and it's in the Moors half at the moment. Davis trying to play it back towards Vassell just inside of Wrexham's own territory. Now Record sees a little bit of space to run into initially, but goes to Rutherford. This is good pressing here for the Moors, as that looks like Tyrone Williams coming forward from his right wing back position. Now the ball is with Keller. Jamie Osborne just warming up below us. Moors will really want to see, and a collision there between Ball and Harrison. There was the opportunity for Ball to go for that challenge there. He definitely did. Harris definitely showed too much of the ball to him and nearly paying the price. But now the free kick will be taken just towards the right-hand side, just inside Wrexham territory. And now here is Harris trying to play the through ball in towards Bickerstaff. It's couldn't believe off of Cranston there, and it has indeed. It's going to be the Wrexham throw on the right-hand side. Last 10 minutes have been pretty productive from a Moors perspective. They've had a couple of half chances. Wrexham controlling the possession so far, you'd probably have to say, but no clear-cut opportunities coming their way to this point, as we are around 25 minutes into this first half between the Moors and Wrexham. And a long ball coming across. That looks like it was Vassell. It's seen out well by Sabari. He's trying to get to the second ball, and he does indeed get it clear. Looking towards Archer. Archer looking to let it run, but there was nobody there from a Moors perspective, so now it goes to Vassell and then Record. Rutherford plays it back. Meanwhile, that looks like Kyle Storer pressing high up the pitch. Where you see Kyle Storer furthest forward, but there he is. Now Harris down the right-hand side, looking to get Thomas into play further down the wing, and he's in a bit of a tussle there with Carter. Now Gleeson just trying to make amends. Can he keep it out? He's seen it out for a throw in the end. That's good work there from Stephen Gleeson after something of a wayward first touch, but he definitely had to get in the way there of that one. It looked like it was his opposite number, Young, waiting to pounce. And now here's Hall Johnson with the throw right on the corner flag. Don't believe this is going to be a deep throw. He's certainly not shaping up that way. So it's chested back his way. Looks like that was Bickerstaff trying to get involved. Bit of shoving there as the cross comes in and goes behind the goal in the end. That's very comfortable for the Moors. Ryan Boot will be happy to see those sorts of balls come his way all night. But plenty of respect being shown between the two teams here. We're just past the 25-minute mark. It is Moors 0, Wrexham 0. The Moors not enjoying the better of the possession, but the two chances going their way. James Ball hitting the target, and now there could be a chance for Archer to get away, but the ball just slightly under hit in terms of the prospect of him reaching him. But now Ball looking to press high against Record, and now Archer will do the same against Vassell. Vassell forced all the way back towards Leighton, and Leighton will get it clear. Goes beyond Bickerstaff there and will go back to Gudger and all the way to Ryan Boot, as a matter of fact, just towards the left-hand side of his area. As now the Moors will look to rebuild through Gleeson. It's Young pressing him there. Now here's Howe. Once again, just looking to see what's available for him in the middle before he shapes to the right-hand side. Just looking to almost kind of look off defenders. He's almost like a quarterback there, is Callum Howe, trying to look off defenders so that he can get them to think twice about where they should be running to. A good piece of play here from Moors with a through ball to Ball, and now here's Howe taking advantage of a bit of space opening up in front of him, but now he runs into 3 red shirts, goes across to Williams, and now back to Howe. And once again, that's good pressing from Wrexham, relatively high up the pitch. Gleeson looking to play back to Carter, and Carter seeing it away from Young. And now Sabara trying to turn and wins a free kick. There were 2 Wrexham players on him there, and one of those was Kelleher, who of course has already been booked. No threat of him being given a second yellow there, but certainly the Moors will just be getting in the referee's ear about that. And now it's across to Cranston. Just looking to consistently build the case, of course, against for some of them, their former teammate. Gleeson now is just inside the Wrexham half, goes outside towards Cranston, who's in a bit of space. Could have lined up across if he wanted to, but there wasn't really anybody in the area looking to run onto it. Archer was the man furthest forward. Tyrone Williams was shaping up that way as well. If anything, Williams is more like a right winger at the moment. He's playing the kind of ambitious role that you'd see Cameron Cox usually play. Now here's Sabara trying to get around Bickerstaff, plays it back to Cranston. Could go back to Sabara, but it goes back instead to Gleeson, and now chipped in. Could go towards Ty. Ty will try and play the low ball, but it was a bit wayward for him in the end. It looked like it might have been more of an intended shot from Williams' perspective, but if he'd have been able to glance it across the area, there would have been danger, as Archer and Ball were both in position to have a go. I think one of them, maybe even both of them, may have been offside, but pretty hard to tell just from this perspective what the intention was. Either way, it's gone out for a goal kick. And it's cleared there by Langton. Goes across to Storer. Now here's Williams. Ball just wayward down the right-hand side, going to go right towards Langton. And he will just wander outside of his area as he looks to get this one deep, looking for Kwame Thomas. He takes it on his chest. And here's Young. Space of record to attack here on the left-hand side. This could be danger. James Ball just about gets goal side of him. Maybe angle just deceptive there, because it looked like Record had space to run into. Certainly from our perspective on the other side of the pitch. Now here is, looks to be Davis. It is indeed looking to play the ball crossfield. A good header there from Tyrone Williams to take it away from Record. Wrexham will have the corner in, the throw in an attacking position. Looks like Young is making himself available for this one, and indeed he does, across to Record. Looking to find space for a cross. It comes in towards the middle, and it looks like Bickerstaff trying to get on it. It could come towards Davis, who fires the volley, and it looks like that was Gleeson there getting the block on it. Bounces down for James Ball to try and get a long ball away, and now here comes the pace. Archer up against Vassell. Vassell just about helps it back to his goalkeeper. Langton. Clearing long down the middle. Gudger getting to it, but heading it high rather than long. Howe eventually gets it away, but it bounces nicely for Davis. Goes out towards the right-hand side. Here's Hall Johnson. Trying to play the 1-2 with Bickerstaff. Looks like Cranston has gone in the way, but there helping it forward is Younger now. Across coming in low, and it goes across the penalty area. Evades everyone in the end. That's the biggest threat on the Moors goal so far in the game, but nobody in the middle able to capitalise on it. There were certainly at least 2 red shirts looking to attack it. Now across coming in. Could come towards Hall Johnson at the back post, but looks like that was Sabara marking him there, of all people. May have just been too high anyway. And it goes out for the goal kick. Just looking to see if we can bring you up to date with some scores from elsewhere around the National League at the moment. As Boot gets this goal kick away. Wellston in a surprise lead at Yeovil Town. That's a turn up for the books there. As the ball comes down the right-hand side, James Ball can't get to it there against Davis. The ball being played forward towards Thomas, intercepted by Carter, and in the end, the Moors getting a free kick. But of course, Wealdstone were not able to play their opening game of the season. Their game against Chesterfield postponed due to a waterlogged pitch. So they certainly are eager, well, will have been eager to get their season underway, and that they've shown that so far, getting that lead at Yeovil. Dagenham Redbridge also a goal up against Barnet. We'll keep you up to speed with what's going on elsewhere throughout the course of the evening. Cranston just looking to play a ball inside towards Gleeson at the moment. Now Gudger looking to get it along the left, and that's presumably just going to float. Oh, no, it's not going to float out of play, because Sabara goes and chases it down and does a decent job. So it just died there. Now Bickerstaff playing forward courtesy of Hall Johnson. That should be safe for Carter to control it however he wants. It took a bit of a Moors bounce there. Now Gleeson, pressure from Young once again. Gudger going to get down the line towards Cranston. Now it comes across to Gleeson. He scans the field and then takes an opportunity to venture into the space. Now Sora's going to try and chip it across to Cranston. This goes, just beyond Cranston in the end. It looked like it was going to go well over him at first, from our perspective, but in the end, just beyond him. Carlos Storvis so far is certainly showing some ambition in terms of trying to get Cranston away, looking to surprise Wrexham's right-hand side of the defence with those long chip balls. So now Thomas looking to try and peel away from Gudger, and it's been won there by Rutherford, and now Bickerstaff trying to play it forward. Carter will see that threat off and play back to Ryan Boot. Boot looks clear down towards the right-hand side, and it is wayward in the end. Boot was under a little bit of pressure. Not one of his finest clearances, but one of the things that was most notable about Ryan Boot last season was the way that he improved in his ball distribution. Had trouble with that towards the end of the 18-19 season, his first with the Moors, of course. Much improved last season. At the moment, Wrexham look once again just trying to build from the defence. Not much in the way of opportunities so far. Perhaps the closest Wrexham came was that ball going across the face of goal, but not finding a red shirt. There were a couple waiting to tap it home. Meanwhile, the closest the Moors came was the effort from James Ball that was saved low to the left. Howe playing across towards Darren Carter. And initially looking like a dangerous ball from our angle towards Gudger, but it's played back safely to Darren Carter now, who's going to try and take opportunity space initially. Just being caught up in a bit of a trip there with Kwame Thomas, all accidental as the ball comes towards James Ball. Now out towards the left. Cranston looking to try and make things happen, but Bickerstaff presses him well. Now back to Gudger. Cross to Carter once again. Just looking to see the ball away from Kwame Thomas and then playing the ball inside. This is a good move here as Gleeson curls it outside towards Sabara, but the ball from Sabara too close to Kelleher. And now Wrexham could look to attack. That's good play there from Carter. Unfortunately, though, he's managed to lose possession. And now this is a chance for Rutherford to try and strike it. It's deflected. And is it off the bar? Is it in? No. Bouncing on the line, and Wrexham coming dangerously close to a goal here through Rutherford as it was deflected, and Boot just getting a hand to it. That was really a good save from Boot, because he certainly couldn't anticipate the angle at which the ball was going to come at him with that deflection. But Wrexham, you can hear Leighton there screaming. He could see it from here. I couldn't see it from here, if that helps. It's a throw-in for Wrexham at the moment. Hall Johnson trying to find someone free as it comes short inside. Now back Hall Johnson's way off of Bickerstaff. Cranston looking to go towards him on the outside right. Now Bickerstaff will turn away, and he's got Reece Hall Johnson into a good position for a cross. It could be chipped over, could come towards Record, and Record into the side netting. It was a similar goal that Record scored in a game at that exact position, actually, for the Moors last season. I can't recall which game it was. If I remember correctly, it was the home game immediately after the Wrexham one. May have been, wasn't against Stockport, but either way, Jamie Record looking like he never left for a moment there. At least if it wasn't for the red shirt, he looked like he'd have never left. At the moment, it's Howe on the ball. as it goes across to James Wall and played back towards Darren Carter. I think the Moors will just want to calm the game down. That was unfortunate there for Carter, because he won the ball well against Kwame Thomas, but the touch after he won the ball just let him down, and Wrexham were able to come away with a move. You can't really fault Carter, just trying to do the right thing and things not quite coming his way. Fortunately for him, the crossbar coming to his rescue, not just the crossbar, but the bounce of the ball as well, as it did not cross the line, said the assistant just over on the far side of the field from our position. As Kelleher at the moment is going to play towards Vasella, now back to the left with Record. Moors reacting fairly well, you have to say, keeping that organisation that they've had all game after that let-off. So now the ball is cleared towards Hall Johnson. He does a good job of keeping it in play against Cranston, as Cranston was almost kind of guiding him out of play there. Does end up being a Wrexham throw in the end as Gudger sees it out. And now Hall Johnson will just look for help, and he gets it there from Davis. Across here to Harris. Now Record with a bit of space to attack down the left-hand side. Ball will try and go to him, but Record's going to get the space to go for a cross. Could come towards Thomas. Carter heading it out well. And then a second header there. Looks like that was Story. Comes to Harris. Dangerous moments here for the Moors, as Wrexham are rather camped outside the penalty area, with everyone besides Langton in Moors territory. As now there's a low ball coming the way of Thomas, challenged well by Carter, and the referee lets that one go. Good challenge from Carter. And now there could be a counter on, as ball breaks out towards the left-hand side with Cranston. Sabara making a surge and run, goes towards the way of Archer, and that's unlucky for the Moors. As Cranston, Sabara was an option, but Sabara just strayed offside. And so he went inside towards Archer, which was the right move, given where Sabara had ventured. But Wrexham able to cut out ball, just not anticipating what Archer was going to try to do with it there. And that goes back really to what Jimmy Shan was talking about during the pre-season. He wants the players to be able to read each other. He wants those relationships to be formed, so that when they're formed off the pitch, then it helps them read each other better on the pitch. And you're not always going to get that right, certainly. But the Moors doing their best there, and there's been just a couple of moments of inventive play. I think Jimmy Shan will be reasonably happy with what he's seen so far. Maybe not so happy in terms of the possession that his side have had. Wrexham do seem to have had the better of that, but I think generally speaking, he'll be happy with the way that the Moors have been disciplined in the face of not having possession. They haven't panicked, and that's been key, because throughout the pre-season they've enjoyed a lot of possession. So it's a test for them to get used to not having it, really. Leighton just playing from that throw, going back his way. And now the ball coming long there from Davis. It's headed away by Cranston. Can't quite be taken down there by Young, and a good piece of play from Archer, and Storer's man first forward at the moment. Ball could come towards Sabara. Can he keep it in play? He can comfortably in the end. Will he try and take on Kelleher? He will. Kelleher choosing not to go for the challenge. Now it comes towards Archer. Can he get into some space? Now can he have a go? No, he won't. He'll try and go outside towards Williams, but it's cut out there. Looks like Rutherford trying to get it clear long, but once again, that's more of that inventiveness. Hard to tell if Archer was really in a position to shoot. It looked like he had a half a yard, but maybe just wanting more. There were certainly Wrexham players closing him down, as that cross there from Cranston is rather wayward. But it's good to see that the Moors are continuing to be adventurous with the possession that they have had in this first half. And Jimmy Shan continuing to encourage the boys to play with that kind of urgency in possession. For those of you just tuning in, or who may have had any problems getting onto the feed, it is Moors 0, Wrexham 0. As you can see, it is it's been a relatively even game. You'd say Wrexham have had the better of the possession. They've come the closest to scoring, with that effort from Rutherford being deflected, and both by Howe and then onto the crossbar by Boot, and it bounced on the line but didn't go in. But the Moors, when they have been in possession, they've been adventurous. Ball at the moment just trying to play it back across to Carter. Cranston looking to make a run, but running into Bickerstaff in the end. Now Gudger has to turn to try and keep that ball in. Goes back to Carter. Howe going short to Gleeson. Williams on the right-hand side has to go backwards. Now here's Gleeson. Ball being called for by Carter and Gudger. Carter has Cranston to his outside, and he goes that way. Down the line, here's Sabara trying to turn against Harris. And the ball coming off of, well, going the Moors way in the end. Looked like it had come off Sabara, but now Cranston right in front of our commentary position. Going to get the chance to get this one in. It goes backwards towards Ball, who's got plenty of space for a cross, but wasn't really anybody well positioned in the area. Now Storer. Howe coming forward to the right-hand side. Williams goes back his way now, and now here's Gleeson. Storer. Good pressing here by Jay Harris. Forces the ball back to Carter. Now here's Gudger. Cranston's down the line, but he goes inside a Ball. Davis trying to dispossess him and could be in trouble. Ball just about wins it, but loses the decision there. Free kick Wrexham. Maynton not too happy with the ball being kicked away there by Cranston, wanting a booking on Cranston. Not going to get one. I think Reece Hall-Johnson may just be arguing that particular case at the moment, as Harris will leave the ball for Hall-Johnson. This free kick is going to be right on the halfway line. It looks like Jamie Record will try and send this one surging in towards the back post. They're certainly not lined up to attack this ball in the penalty area, but I'm sure they're all just going to try and race in. The Moors playing a high line, and now here it comes. It's nodded forward by Thomas. Could reach here, Vassell at the back post. Well, that was dangerous for the Moors, as Vassell losing his marker there. I guess the fortunate thing is it was Vassell losing his marker and not someone like a Rutherford who could try and, well, certainly more used to being in goal-scoring positions would a Rutherford type be as compared to a Vassell, of course, a centre-back. But either way, the Moors get away with that. And we'll look to play out from the defence once again, as here's Howe. Under pressure from Kwame Thomas, forced back towards Ryan Boot. And across to Carter. We can't be too far away now from half-time. Just a couple of moments to go, and Wrexham at the moment just looking the more dangerous of the two sides. You'd definitely say that they've edged the first half, but I don't think the Moors will be too unhappy with the way that they've executed pretty much a plan B. As the ball comes back from Sabara towards Carter, and now Sabara playing across towards Howe, towards Williams. Wanted to attack a little bit of space, but Rutherford was pressing high, and now the ball comes back across to Carter once again. Looking to chip it forward, and it gets Sabara into play, but wasn't really close enough to him. It looked then that was a pretty good ball to pick up Sabara, but not quite anticipating it. Now the chase down coming there from Archer, but cleared in the end by Langton. And there could be a free kick there for a push on Kwame Thomas, and indeed there is. Will Wrexham hold up and play here? No, they won't. They'll take it quickly. Thought they might try and get another ball into the box. Oh, and a trip there from Sabara. Actually, Jordan Davis doing well to stay up, but gets a free kick anyway, which I'm surprised the referee didn't blow his whistle immediately. There was a half a second delay there. Now it comes back towards Kelleher. Off of Young there, it appears. And forced all the way back to the goalkeeper. Good pressing there from James Ball. And now this is Gleeson all the way up the field. Good header from Gudger, but it comes right down towards Reece Hall-Johnson. Cranston is in front of Bickerstaff there to try and win that. And he does get the free kick in the end. Once again, a bit of a delay before that decision comes for the Moors, just as the one earlier did for Wrexham. Cranston going back towards Darren Carter here. And now here is Callum Howe. Sabara just wanted to make a run there, but it's going to go the way of Cranston, who takes it down with a decent first touch, but forced backwards by Bickerstaff. Gudger looking to get inside towards Storer. Good ball away there under the challenger. Looked like Jordan Davis was trying to make something happen in terms of stealing possession away for Wrexham. Now Carter going outside to Cranston. Has help from Sabara. Goes down the line, but it's too close to Kelleher, who will see it out for a throw. But it's in a decent position here for the Moors. Cranston sees Referee just bringing the play back there. Costor not happy with that particular decision, but referee rightly pointing out that there was a chance the ball could bounce back in a play. So now Cranston will get it at the second time of asking. Well, he would have done, but it looks like it was kicked away from him. Now Cranston gets the opportunity to get the throw-in away. Not much room for him to work with. Goes in the end to Sabara, short, and it's gone right to Kwame Thomas, who's all too happy to lap up the possession there. Could he drive it out towards left with Rutherford? He can, but that's great challenge by Callum Howard. It almost, well, it could have got the Moors going forward, but James Ball wasn't really ideally placed in terms of body position. Going back to his own goal, couldn't see the space in front of him. Now it ends up with Sabara going back to Gutter instead. And now here's Carter. Here is Callum Howe playing short to Gleeson. Ball just going forward there. Kelleher seeing it away from Sabara. Now Young seeing off the attention of the balls, plays it back towards Hall Johnson, and now Thomas trying to race onto it. Carter is in front of him, should see it out for a goal kick, and does. Getting tripped for his efforts there. But we are just moments away now from the end of the first half, and it's been pretty similar to there is the half-time whistle. So 0-0 as it stands. Both teams looking to restrict the ability to have their opposition move around the field freely. The Moors were probably just doing the best job of that, while Wrexham were just looking to remain patient and hold the possession. And hold the possession they did for much of the first half, but it was a chance that came their way when they weren't in possession, as the ball was stolen away from Darren Carter just towards the middle of the field, and it broke for Rutherford to have a go at goal, and his shot deflected onto the hand of Boot and then onto the crossbar and bouncing just in front of the goal line, but not going in according to the officials here. So that wraps up our first half here. We're going to take a little bit of a half-time break and rejoin you on the other side. It is Solihull Moors 0, Wrexham 0, and you're tuning in to Solihull Moors TV. Hello and welcome back to Solihull Moors TV. It is, of course, Solihull Moors 0, Wrexham 0 at half-time here. We are just a couple of moments away from the resumption here. Being a very cagey first half, I think it is safe to say, between the two teams. Wrexham really in control of the possession for the most part, but the Moors showing some good adventurousness and creativeness when they have had the ball. Closest opportunity for a goal was Wrexham's chance just around about 10 minutes or so before half-time, when Darren Carter had the ball stolen away from him. Rather unfortunate, actually, because he made initially a very good challenge against Kwame Thomas. But the ball then headed the way of Rutherford, and he fired a shot that was deflected and then parried by Ryan Boot onto the crossbar and then bouncing back down and very nearly crossing the line, but according to the linesman on the far side of the field from where we are, which is just in front of the penalty area at the drain end, your perspective in terms of the camera, you're some 30 yards or so to my right, so you have a more central view of things. But certainly hard to tell from our perspective as to whether or not it did go in. Meanwhile, on the other side of the field, towards my side, where, of course, the Moors were attacking in the first half, they did create the first half chance of the game, really. It was James Ball who got on the end of a ball, and Joe Sabara was looking to attack it. I think he wanted Ball to kind of set it up for it, but Ball went for it himself, and it was saved just low towards the left-hand side by Lainton. And that's pretty much been the crux of the action so far, you'd have to say. It's been a game of possession and a game of trying to make sure that the two sides can take what the other gives to them, really. And from a Moors perspective, apart from that one chance of Rutherford, they didn't really give Wrexham all that much. Apart from that shot that came off the bar, the only real threat on their goal was when that ball came flashing across the 6-yard box. Ryan Boot couldn't get to it, but nor could any red shirt. There was, of course, the opportunity for Jamie Record as he came
towards the back post just to meet the cross coming in from Reece Hall-Johnson. But he headed into the side netting, very, very similar, that one, to a goal that we actually saw Record score here last season, not in the Wrexham game. The one he scored against Wrexham was a quite spectacular one, actually, just in front of us towards the left-hand side. He slid in on the edge of the area and hit it into the top corner as the Moors just begin to make their way back onto the field now, and they'll do their usual exercises just on the sideline. And we will get this game back underway, and I think the Moors will be looking for more possession, but certainly when they're in possession, more of the same adventurousness when they do have it, because they've made pretty good use of what's come their way so far. And Archer as well has shown his pace in chasing down what have been pretty much lost causes. It's almost as if he is being called upon to play the Jake Beasley type of role. Of course, Beasley leaving for Rochdale on the eve of the season. But Jake Beasley was always so excellent at chasing down those seeming lost causes and making something happen for his teammates. And it looks like that's a role that Archer is being called upon to play today. Wrexham now just making their way onto the field. They, of course, will attack the drain end in the second half. Doesn't look as if there has been any changes for the moment. Just trying to see if that's Ponticelli who's come onto the pitch, but it looks as if that's actually Young. Pretty difficult from this far away perspective to tell whether or not it is the 8 or the 9, but it does indeed look like the 8. So we are almost ready to get the game back underway. You can hear Darren Carter just urging the players on as it's going to be Harris to get the game back underway for Wrexham. Moors will keep the same shape. They're going to keep that box midfield that we've seen throughout the pre-season. You did wonder when Darren Carter was named in the team alongside Alex Goodrich, just whether or not you would see the Moors play a 4-4-2 of sorts. It would have been difficult to see who they would have played there, just given the fact that they don't really have any kind of natural right wingers in their team. Either way, we're ready now for the kickoff to resume the second half. And the ball is being played long. Headed out by Howe under pressure from Kwame Thomas. And there's Vassell playing back towards Lainton. The ball coming long towards the left-hand side. Looks like Rutherford's in position to try and win that one, but Tyrone Williams gets to it first. Ball bounces down towards Carter. He's looking to set up Cranston down the left-hand side in a bit of space. The ball just coming back towards Darren Carter now, as we have this excellent view of a red moon, a half a red moon, not a full moon. Of course, those full moons usually mean that we're in for some havoc. We certainly haven't been in for much in the way of carnage so far in terms of chances, but now here's James Ball trying to chase down a ball and putting good pressure there on Jamie Record. Record not happy at all with the communication coming from his goalkeeper, Rob Lainton, there. Which is surprising, really, given how vocal Lainton has been throughout the game. It has to be said, we've heard him lashing out with all sorts of profanities down this end of the field during the first half. But what we're going to see now is this booming throw from the right-hand side from Tyrone Williams. And it goes over Callum Howe, who was looking to try and attack it down the near side. Stephen Gleeson will try and play it back to Williams, and now it comes back the way of Gleeson. Goes inside. Storer trying to twist his body to get it back towards Williams, and Williams just not quite able to control it with his first touch, and it is eventually cleared by Jamie Record. Over Cranston, and that could spell trouble if Bickerstaff can get to it, but Cranston does well to recover in the end. And now here's Gleeson. To get it down the line, Williams lets it run, hoping that someone will chase it down. Ball was the man closest. And here it comes back to Lainton. Gudger just about intercepting that ball, but then losing it at the second attempt, as here is Bickerstaff looking to cut inside. Sabara tracking back, but Bickerstaff gets around him. Could be an effort on goal here, but it goes out to the left instead, with Younger now across low, coming in from Record. Carter rather slashing at it, but does eventually get it away, and Ball almost losing it to Young, but in the end could set up a counter-attack. But mix up there between Archer and Ball. Sees it being brought away by Davis, who can't get around Callum Howe. And Wrexham will have the throw. Jamie Record doesn't have the longest throw on him usually, so he plays short to Young. Now here's Rutherford trying to turn away from Williams. Archer is back there helping as well. Ball is, if anything, is playing the main striker right now as Rutherford frets it between Williams' legs. Comes back to Record as they continue to play the 1-2. Goes all the way back to Young in the end. Wrexham doing a good job of keeping possession, however. They're just crowding in front of the Moors area at the moment, but that's a wayward ball that Williams will see comfortably out for a goal kick. Just looking to see who the first substitutions might be. Doesn't look as if there are any being ready for the moment. As Cranston plays the ball down the line, it's headed away by Kelleher. Now here's a through ball in towards Kwame Thomas. Goes back the way of Reece Hall-Johnson, of course, the scorer of the first goal in that great win for Wrexham against Boreham Wood at the Racecourse Ground on Saturday. And now here's Record on the left-hand side, playing back to Vassell. Ball comes in towards Thomas Carter, just getting a foot on it, but now there's space to attack here for Jordan Davis, and he's going to try and have a go, so he's sawing his way, and, well, that was dangerous for the Moors as that through ball threatened to go the way of Rutherford. But now here's Ball, getting around Jamie Record, showing good pace. Can he get it through to Archer? He goes towards the outside. Archer now turns inside a Record. Here's Storr in a bit of space. Cranston on the overlap. Low cross coming in. It's blocked by Hall-Johnson. Can he keep it in play? He does a good job there of preventing it from going for the corner. That's the first real threat of this second half coming the way of the Moors. Cranston's going to boom this one in. Alex Gudger takes the invitation to go forward. Darren Carter will stay back, so too will Williams. Howe is in there somewhere as well. And here it comes. It's going the way of Gudger, flicked on. And has that come off a Wrexham man? No, it has not. Goal kick is the decision. As Gudger just looked to flick it on towards somebody who was more inside of him. Maybe someone like a James Ball would have been the man to get on the end of it. But it's safely behind, and Leighton will get this one away. In terms of the Moors substitutes, it is, of course, worth noting that Jamie Osborne is on the bench this evening. Meanwhile, Wrexham have two creative options. Well, in terms of the most noteworthy creative options anyway, of course, you look at Jeffrey and Durrell. Both of those players can really make things happen, of course. Jeffrey, formerly of Dover Athletics, there's a hard challenge there between Record and Williams. The Moors get the decision on the front. Referee just asking Williams to bring back the play here. Play back towards Callum Howe off of the throw via Gleeson. Headed away by Vassell. Storer gets above Harris, who is down as a result of that. And the referee will stop the play, which is, to be honest, I don't think that's a decision Wrexham will be particularly happy with, because they had something going there with Bickerstaff able to play a short ball across to Thomas, but the play is brought back as that looks to be Jay Harris who's got down. And with this little interval, we'll see if we can take a quick look at what's going on elsewhere around the National League. Some of the players going to take an opportunity to just get drinks at the moment. Kwame Thomas, one of those. Callum Howe, another. Yeovil have gotten themselves an equaliser against Wealdstone. Dagenham Redbridge still leading against Barnet. Stockport and Halifax is one apiece. Stockport, of course, were really considered to be the favourites coming into the season with so many great signings. They got a couple of former Salford City players in, of course. Hogan was one of those. And I believe Lois Maynard might have been the other that they got in. And, of course, the big signing of John Rooney from Barrow. really making them into the consensus pre-season favourites for the National League title. But they, of course, went down at Torquay as they're just getting a block on the ball from Davis is Stephen Gleeson. Ball goes out for a throw. Record just playing backwards towards Harris, the man who's just returned to the field. Now across to Kelleher. Kelleher looking for Thomas on the ball. Rutherford trying to chase it down as well. It goes over him. Williams sees out of a header, but it comes back to Thomas, but showed too much of the ball to Callum Howe. There's a fantastically high jump there from Reece Hall-Johnson, but certainly wasn't fantastic for Joe Sabara to get de facto kicked in the head. I'm sure that wouldn't have been the intention, of course, but either way, it's a clear free kick for the Moors. So you can see players just from both teams warming up here. Free kick going across to Callum Howe, just towards the right-hand side. There's a good run coming from Archer if Howe wants to pick him out, but he's going to go across the field, and it's a pretty wayward ball, really. It's intercepted with ease by Bickerstaff. Goodger and Gleeson just closing him down there, and I think it was Gleeson that got the foot in there. Eventually it breaks back towards Young. Now Harris trying to make something happen with a ball down the line. It does get through and could be a chance, but offside. Flag gone up there against, was that Bickerstaff? Indeed it was. Boot was alert to it anyway, and it looked like he was in position to make the save, should he have needed to do so. Storer playing towards Gleeson, and now it comes out to the right-hand side, Tyrone Williams. Storer looking for a run from Archer. Plays the 1-2 with Williams instead. And now the ball back with the Moors defence. Other scores in the National League, Sutton leading at Aldershot, Torquay leading at Eastleigh. As a long ball comes the way, looking for James Ball, I believe was the intended target there, but well beyond him. Saturday's opponent to Kingsley in Town, they are down 2-1 at Maidenhead. So ball just comes down the throat of Alex Goodger. He sees it away to his opposite number, Harris. Chip over the top should be won by Cranston, but his header couldn't really direct it forward, but in the end Carter clears up, and now the ball could be space to attack it. Ball does turn up the field and then looks to go towards Williams, but then turns away, and now there could be space for Cranston down the left, and indeed ball goes that way. Now here's Sabara in good position. Up against Harris. Can he get a ball inside of ball? He can, but there to make amends there was Jordan Davis. But that's another spell of good play for the Moors going down the left-hand side once again. Cranston is influential to the Moors' attacks in this game. So it looks as if this is Cranston getting the corner in. Usually we see Sabara getting these corners in from that particular flank, but this is going to be an outswinger, and here it comes. Going towards the back post, and James Ball has headed in. James Ball getting the goal, just losing his marker at the near post, and the Moors take the lead with the corner from Cranston, the outswinger. We were just mentioning that we haven't seen Cranston on those set pieces from that side of the field, but he gets a perfect one towards Ball, who just loses his marker and nods in. And really, there was no way for the goalkeeper to react to that one. You can't really put that one on Leighton. He did a really good job just to get anything on it. He almost made an excellent save, but Ball heading home, and that's the Moors' first goal at Damson Park since February, can you believe? Since Callum Howe added a third goal against Dover Athletic in that excellent 3-0 win. I think you'd have to say that really that doesn't necessarily go against the run of play per se, but you'd say this has been a pretty even game so far, and if you were looking at a team that was going to be behind, you probably wouldn't say that Wrexham should be that team, but it's just symptomatic of how the Moors, when they've been in possession, they've gone and made things happen throughout the course of the game. They've shown just a little bit more ambition. They've taken advantage of the limited space that's been provided to them. Record just getting a clearance away, but only goes as far as Gleeson. Gleeson wants a free kick, doesn't get it, but Carl Storer is there to make amends, fortunately for the Moors. Now the ball is back with Carl Storer. Goodger pulling up there. Jamie Osborne warming up right below us was just looking right at that, and a bit of grimaces on his face as he saw Goodger just sit down, and then he is now once again in a sitting position, or was very briefly. Likes of James Ball, of course, the goal scorer, and Tyrone Williams have come across to get themselves a drink. As it looks like Wrexham will line up the first substitution of the game. Looks like Anthony Jeffrey is the man who's ready to come on. Be interested to see who comes off, because Rutherford, of course, went close in the first half with that shot that was deflected and then came back off the crossbar. But that would be the natural move here. Bickerstaff has, if anything, been the more dangerous player in terms of moves coming down the wings in the second half. He's gotten into some good positions just in these early exchanges. Just trying to catch a peek of 27 who's going off. So 27's going to be Bickerstaff. So it looks like Jeffrey's gone to the left wing. That could well mean that Thomas goes to the right. But then Rutherford would not be a natural middle player. So it's Rutherford going to the right and Jeffrey to left. Thomas stays in the middle. Just judging by the way that this game has gone, you would really think that with Wrexham not able to take much advantage of of any real space that's come their way, that their best opportunity in the whole game so far has been courtesy of a ball that was lost by Darren Carter. And now with the Moors in what you would probably say is a relatively unlikely lead, you're almost looking at the Moors making a mistake if Wrexham are going to get back into this one. And speaking of a mistake, there's a bit of a wayward ball from the defence there that brings Wrexham back into possession fairly deep in Moors territory. Record looking to play the 1-2 with Jeffrey. As Hall Johnson there just ventures out towards the left-hand side, not his usual position. If anything, Hall Johnson was playing as a striker at that point. Either way, ball is with Record now, as he plays the 1-2 with Harris. And Jimmy Shan really at this point is just going to be hoping for more of the first half organisation, and also hoping that there's going to be some opportunity opening up on the counter. Certainly Ball has been in decent positions at times to make counters happen, and you know that Joe Sabara will always go chasing the ball down, trying to win back possession. Of course, he did that really well in the pre-season friendly against Leamington. That was the goal that was scored by Rooney, what was effectively a toe poke from just the edge of the area. If Sabara can keep chasing down balls like that, then that's really a potential route to success for the Moors in trying to see out this game. But at the moment, Wrexham attacking the right-hand side. Hall Johnson looking to bring it inside. A good ball across the field, low ball towards Record. Storer and Archer with good high pressing. They're forced inside and Thomas can't quite get around Howe here, and they're going to bring the play back actually for a free kick Wrexham's way. Carter being adjudged to have been the guilty party for a trip there on Young, and I'm sure those of you Wrexham fans tuning in will have fond memories of Saturday where Young curled one into the far corner to win that game against Boreham Wood. Looks actually as if Davis is an interested party on this one as well, so may realistically just be too far out of Young's range. You'd expect this one from the area it's in to be across, and it's certainly lining up that way. And in fact, it's going to be, well, it was an effort to try and catch Ryan Boot out in the end, and Boot was fully alert. No realistic chance of him being beaten on that one. As Davis tried to go for the clever low free kick there. Good work from Archer, helping get Sabara back into play. A challenge from behind, and, well, Moors players racing in here. They want a red card. They're all being waved away. Pretty hard to tell, just because the challenge was to basically with the players back to us, so it was hard to tell just to what extent the studs were up or how bad it was. He clearly went through the player, and it is a yellow, which from what we could see looked like the right call. So that's now 2 Wrexham players in the book. First man, of course, was Fikra Kelleher, the former Moor, as the free kick comes down the left-hand side, and a good header being won there by Hall Johnson, but Cranston is able to follow up on the overlap. Could he keep it in play? He can. Yes, corner Moors. And once again, that's going to bring Alex Goodger into play. Darren Carter also interested in going forward. We've not always seen Carter going forward for these set pieces, but it looks as if Tyrone Williams and Kyle Storer are going to be the men tasked with staying back, with Anthony Jeffrey, the lone Wrexham player, looking to make something happen on the counter. But now here comes a corner. Once again, it's going to be Cranston. It was from this side where the Moors got the goal, and here it comes again, and nearly reaching Callum Howe, and now it's going to come towards Gleeson, who's going to try and play it back into the area. Ball just couldn't quite meet it, but the attack could still be alive with Sabara. Looking for space to make a cross. Now it comes towards Carter. Williams could tee up a long ball here if he wants to. He has the space, and then he does so after teasing it initially. It's headed away as far as Storer. And now Gleeson forced back to Carter. Storer finding Goodger in his way and nearly losing control of the ball, and then continuing to run into him. And all Gleeson could do in the end is to just hoof it up the field and just try and get it out and away from some sort of danger. Good header from Cranston onto Sabara, and then Cranston, his second touch, just letting him down, unfortunately. Nice idea. He was in position to go further forward there, was Cranston. But now Wrexham come away with it. It's played by Record. Howe looking to get it away from Thomas, and does so well. And ball goes out of play in the end, and Harris takes the throw in. Looks like it was well back from where it went out. Now the ball comes across to Keller. This is Davis. Harris now looking to just scan the field. Record with a good through ball. Young was onside. Could go through towards Thomas, and he's in on goal. Can he slide to the boot? No, he can't. Can Hall Johnson race onto it and make something happen? He's got defenders all in front of him. And the Moors reacted well to that. But now a shot coming in, and well saved by Ryan Boot towards his left. And Boot looking like he's down in some pain after making that save, and so too is Kyle Storer, so could be a double concern here for the Moors. But I wonder if maybe Boot, that's an after effect of that challenge on Thomas, as Thomas was looking to get through there, looking to try and get around Boot to his outside, if not try and slot it under him. You can hear the call there of well done Tyrone Williams, but that really a case of well done Ryan Boot, as he comes to the rescue twice there. Firstly up against Thomas, and then that shot from distance from Jordan Davis. Elsewhere in the National League, I don't believe we mentioned earlier that Woking are a 1-0 up at Weymouth. Bromley lead Dover by 2-1. It was a surprise to see Dover win at the weekend, of course. The smart money was on them being in some trouble, having lost so many players over the course of the off-season. Niall Clayton below us is warming up, so there is the prospect of a change. We've seen so many occasions where Boot has been able to continue in these sorts of scenarios. Most often he's almost kind of had to. The Moors haven't usually had a substitute goalkeeper to call upon. but at the moment they do with Clayton. Boot looking gingerly for a lot of that particular sequence, but he is now looking to jog back towards the ball, and it looks like the referee has been very kind to him, giving him all the time he needs to recover, and it looks like he is now recovered, which is a big relief for the Moors. Of course, Ryan Boot, one of the best goalkeepers in this division, you'd have to say. Formerly of Port Vale. Arrived with something of a checkered reputation. He came in with a reputation as a good shot stopper in the season he played with Port Vale, but had potentially one or two mistakes in his game, and for the most part, you'd have to say he's been... You've seen more of the good of that than the bad. Free kick for the Moors at the moment, just towards the right-hand side, and it looks like there is a change being lined up. Looks like it's Mitch Hancock who is ready to come on. But it's still looking not in the best of states. Wearing a grimace just a moment ago as he went to chase the ball just away to the left side of his penalty area. So here comes a change for the Moors, and it's Alex Goodger looking as if he's going to make his way off, and Mitch Hancock's coming on. And it looks like Hancock's is going to be asked to play that exact same position, so it's a like-for-like change here, which is a surprise. We haven't seen Hancock's in this position at all, I don't believe, in a Moors shirt. Certainly I can't remember an instance in which he's been playing what is effectively a centre-back position. Doesn't look as if this is a switch to a 4-4-2 or anything, because Williams is still deep down the field, as joining Cranston on the flanks as Darren Carter goes down there via a challenge by Kwame Thomas. Thomas continuing to remonstrate with the linesman, but looked as if he did just stick an arm out there on Carter. Unintentional. He certainly didn't mean to catch Carter there. So we've got 20 minutes to go here at Damson Park. Of course, here at the SportNation.bet Stadium, you are listening to or watching Solihull Moors TV in association with Primrose's Kitchen. Carter on the free kick, looking to go deep here in towards Ball, who does get a flick on, can't quite reach Sabara. Ball bouncing in the air. Reece Hall-Johnson must have headed that about 3 or 4 times by himself. Eventually Wrexham scramble it out for a throw. Cranston just looking to get Storer into play here. Young is pressuring Cranston. Goes back to Storer now in a bit of space initially. But the ball goes the way of Carter, and now here's Callum Howe once again. Good high pressing there from Davis, forcing Howe back towards Ryan Boot. Boot will chip away, looking for James Ball. Ball's been excellent in the air today. He's looking to try and get Archer away, and the header back by Kelleher is just about good enough to go back to Rob Lainton. Now this is going to be Hall-Johnson venturing down the right-hand side, going into Moors territory. Playing back to Harris. Ball just coming across here to the cell, and now across the left-hand side with Record. James Ball once again continuing to press high, but Jeffrey gets in front of Gleeson. Now the ball comes to the right. Looks as if this is Harris trying to play a chip ball through, and Ryan Boot anticipating that well. Jeffrey made a good bursting run into the middle, but Ryan Boot alert to it. Ryan Boot has been very alert to some dangerous moments today. So now you see Thomas is trying to chase him down. It's not the best of clearances by Boot. Comes in towards the middle, and now could be a chance here. Rutherford, could he get goal side? Great challenge there by Darren Carter. Could Young follow up on it? Bit of a trip there. Referee has given a corner. Well, that was a bit contentious. Looked like a 50-50 ball just there on the edge of the area. But Rutherford would have been in there, and that really, you'd probably say, a goal-saving tackle by Darren Carter. Not a natural centre-back by any means, but looking perfectly like one just then. But the danger isn't over. Kelleher forward with Vassell, bit of shoving. Now here comes the corner. It's going right into the goal mouth. James Ball just had to head it behind there. I think Boot might have wanted to try and collect it, but when you're a defender in that position, you just have to see it out. For some reason there, the corner kick taker deciding to play the ball behind into the drain end. I can only assume that's a COVID-related thing, because it's not really in Wrexham's interest to go wasting time here. Harris, Jeffrey, Thomas standing right on the goal line initially. This is very much what Boreham Wood did to them at the weekend. Now the ball comes in, it's flicked on by Ball. They want a handball to Wrexham. Comes out towards Cranston, and he just nods it away from Young, who has to... Well, he's thrown it to himself there, and that's going to be a foul throw. Or a free kick. Well, that's... the Boars will be thankful for that gift, effectively. Tyrone Williams just being told to get yards on the throw. Trying to take it well in advance of where it went out, not for the first time. And now here it comes, looking to go down the line towards Ball. Record trying to get in his way. Ball just seems to have won everything in the air. There's a free kick going against the Moors there. Can only assume that was a handball against Archer. Bit of shoving there between Archer and Record. Don't think Jamie Record wants too much in the way of aggro with plenty of his former teammates. Of course, Archer, not one of those. Looks like this one is going to be played in towards the area with Wrexham players looking to attack it. It's coming the way of Kwame Thomas, who does get a flick on it. Could come to the back post, but Ryan Boot anticipates it well in front of Rutherford there. Certainly Ryan Boot's reading of the game has been excellent today, as Sabara just can't quite control the ball against Young. Moore's just looking a little bit scrappy in terms of losing possession. They seem to be too eager to chase down the ball. Now across coming in, and could be on the turn for Rutherford, but he slipped, and well, that went a little bit behind him, and Hancock's there just getting tripped slightly and winning the free kick. Ryan Boot incensed with his defenders there. Kyle Storer having to calm him down for a split second, but Boot has certainly found himself in some dangerous positions at times during the second half, and he almost found himself in one there as Rutherford was looking to turn, but just his second touch there, just letting him down, and that is almost a story of Wrexham's second half, you feel, and now there could be a chance for Archer to race onto one here. But he can't do so. Now here's Jeffrey. Howe getting on the end of that one and getting it away. Well, could Sabara be in here? No, it's going to bounce away safely. From a Wrexham perspective, Lainton now getting it forward. Hall Johnson crossing the halfway line. Looks to play a long ball in towards either Thomas or Jeffrey. It's going to be flicked on by Thomas, but, well, looking to flick it on, but Howe gets to it, goes as far as Record. Record's cross. Mitch Hancock's in a bit of bother here as Rutherford chases him down, but gets it out towards Cranston, who will surely play it back to Hancock, who will just clear it long. Moore's doing well to get out of a difficult position there. Rutherford was racing down on Mitch Hancock. Could have easily forced the error. Now Record across the field, looking for a nod forward by Rutherford. Looked like a handball there by Kwame Thomas, and indeed it's given. We've got some, just trying to see the time left. It looks as if we've got some 10 minutes remaining. Substitution now just coming up for the Moors. So it's Joe Sabara going off, Callum Maycock coming on. So used, of course, to seeing Jamie Osborne wear 7. Callum Maycock has been energetic in the pre-season friendlies. You'd have to say he's been very ball hungry when his side have not had possession. And it looks like Wrexham are going to bring on Elliot Durrell. So the Moors 7 departs and Wrexham's 7 is to enter the fray. So this is the creative duo on the wings that we talked about. As Rutherford goes off, Durrell on. So Durrell and Jeffrey, the 2 wingers that started on Saturday, now on as substitutes. Durrell, of course, was so fantastic in Altringham's playoff campaign. Helping them to wins over York City and Boston, both away from home, of course. So now that change is confirmed. And the game will get back underway with Ryan Boot. Free kick from the edge of his own area. Chip forward. Jeffrey in contention to win it, but Williams nods it on, looking for Archer. Looks like Maycock has been asked to play the left-sided attacking midfielder in that box midfield. So it is basically a like-for-like change. The ball to the right-hand side. Ball just being penalised there for a trip. Jimmy Shan was not happy with Wrexham taking that free kick quickly, and he wins his case. Now Record was looking to just get that long ball up the field, but it's gone to Vassell. Vassell just running into a bit of space between 2 Moors midfielders, but it's stolen away. Gleeson towards Archer. Just can't quite get around Young there, but Howe's going to try and chip it forward towards Ball. Just looking to hold up the play and get players into position. Did that ball run out? No, it didn't. And now this is going to be Davis looking to clear it long, but a good piece of play from Storer forcing the block, and it's a throw-in right on Wrexham's own corner flag in the end. Got some 10 minutes left here at the SportNation.bet Stadium. Solihull Moors 1, Wrexham 0. James Ball nodding in at the near post following a corner from Jordan Cranston from left-hand side. Lainton getting a hand to it, but couldn't keep it out. Ball losing his marker and making it count. So now the Moors back in possession on the right-hand side. Storer tries to play it through the ball. Maycock making a run forward, but it could come to Archer. Archer tried to pick out Maycock there. Could come back his way as he plays outside towards Cranston. There's a space for cross. Archer! Oh, just wide. Archer just looking to do the right thing there. Just looking to glance it in to the far corner. As he took in that cross from Cranston, it was fairly similar to the first goal we saw for the Moors in the game against Leamington, where Rooney did exactly the same. Adam Rooney, of course, out injured at the moment, but Cameron Archer there looking to live up to Rooney's reputation and put the game away for the Moors, but he couldn't quite do so. Record gets the throw away to Vassell. And it goes across to Kelleher. Looking to get a ball across to Jeffrey. Thomas could get a flick on it, but it's going to fall nicely for Mitch Hancock's to clear. Going right down the throat of Vassell. Archer bearing down on him. Goes through towards Jeffrey. Callum Howe could have let that run there, but he couldn't have been sure that there was no red shirt racing down on Ryan Boot. And now James Ball. Well, how is that a free kick to Wrexham? Ball had his... rather, he's gotten his head held there. Strange decision. And now the referee wants a word with James Ball. Absolutely nothing that the goal scorer did wrong there. Either way, Wrexham get the decision. Lainton will clear away from midway inside his own half. It's going to look to go up towards Kwame Thomas, who's so instrumental in the area. And he does get a flick on. And it looks like Reece Johnson is trying to get through a scramble there. And it could be a counter-attack on. Gleeson can't beat Jeffrey for pace, and Vassell was there to deal with it anyway. Question is, can Archer force a mistake from Jeffrey? No, he can't. Ends up back safely with Kelleher. And now this is Harris. Wrexham just showing a bit more urgency, but the discipline in the last few minutes has really been back with the Moors. Callum Howe getting in the way of a sliding ball there. That ball looking to reach Kwame Thomas. Now there's a ball coming across the field. Thomas trying to win a flick on, but Williams is there to get in front of it. Still alive down the left. Jeffrey trying to take on Ball. Does have a half a yard and Ball slides. Gets it out for a corner Wrexham. Jamie Osborne's been warming up all day, but not much time left for him if he is going to come on. Looks like there's a change coming the Wrexham's way, and this is going to be a bit of a last throw of the dice, really. Them throwing on the kitchen sink, if you will. Ponticelli coming on. Harris coming off. Corner will come in from the left. Durrell making a run towards the near post, but it's nodded away at the far post as it headed towards Davis, but there to meet it was Maycock. Throwing taken towards Hall Johnson. Good challenge from Storer. Cross going back in, could reach Thomas. It's not a cross, but just can't quite reach Ponticelli there as Howe gets it clear. These final moments becoming desperate for the Moors. Record looking for help short from Ponticelli. Jeffrey there as well. Eventually it goes Jeffrey's way, but Ball forces him backwards. Archer looking to race on against Vassell. Vassell going to be forced. Initially, it looked like he was going back to his goalkeeper, but now it's with Young instead. And Young, in the end, forced back to his keeper. Good pressing from the Moors. Ball comes towards Thomas. His flick on ricochets off of Hancock's and comes to Howe. Howe going to chip forward for Ball, but that should be easy for Jamie Record to help back towards his goalkeeper. And now Leighton will clear towards the right-hand side. Cranston's going to try and challenge Hall Johnson. It goes over him. Cranston should see it out for a throw. And indeed he does. And for all Wrexham's possession and for all their high pressing in possession, time appears to be running out. For the Welsh side, Jimmy Shan close to making it, of course, 2 out of 2 in home games, home league games for the Moors. Of course, his other game was the 3-0 win against Dover back in February. But Wrexham looking to do something about that through Record. Jeffrey playing deep, and Gleeson wants the throw, doesn't get it. Ball now back with Vassell. Archer will try and press him, and he almost steals it away, but Record is there to help out Vassell in the end. Now Keller. Here's Durrell. Not seen much of him in the game. Maycock keeping him honest. Now ball coming across from Davis. Record keeps it in play. Ball challenges him well. That gets more applause from Jimmy Shan, who can sense a result coming his way. Just trying to keep an eye on what we'll get in terms of stoppage time as the ball comes long towards Ponticelli. Howe gets up in front of him, but the ball could break towards Hall Johnson, but it comes away from him. Storer trying to play it forward, and is Maycock caught there? No, says the referee, but it's come nicely to Gleeson. Ball is surging away down the right-hand side. Can Vassell get to it first? He can indeed. He's going to have to go back to his goalkeeper, and that'll invite Archer to, well, he wanted to race onto it, but Kelleher showed good strength there. Now Thomas trying to flick it on. Can Boot come off his line? He can indeed, and he claims it with ease. Boot really anticipating the way the ball is going to fall in towards the penalty area, and his anticipation of what's about to unfold has been so key for the Moors this evening. I'm sure you'll get calls to pick a man of the match later on Twitter. If you want my pick, James Ball would be it. He's chased down a lot of balls. He's won plenty in the air. And Moors are going to get a free kick here through Archer, just being tripped slightly by a combination of Record and Young. Moors aren't going to show any urgency in terms of getting men forward here, as you'd expect, just trying to protect the lead. Callum Maycock just receiving instructions at the moment from Looks like it's Richard Beale, actually, that he's getting instruction from. Indeed, it is. As Gleeson will presumably just try and play this into the corner. He's signalling that way, but he's got Tyrone Williams back of him if he wants. Does indeed go to the corner, and ball can't get there. It's going to go for a goal kick. Goes short to Record, who will surely just look for a long ball here. Hail Mary time for Wrexham. Hancock wins the header against Kwame Thomas. Tyrone Williams going all over the back there of Jeffrey, and the Moors are penalised for that, which is... The Moors aren't happy about it, but that's consistency from the referee. Whenever Wrexham players have done that, it's gone against Wrexham, and it goes against the Moors there. So you can definitely understand the referee with that decision. Williams coming down a bit worse for wear, getting attention from Carl Storr, acting as the emergency physio there. It's going to be Davis on the free kick when we are ready to resume. As we are just into the 90th minute now. Here it comes, going in towards the middle. It bounces away from Kelleher, who was the man closest to it, but Callum Howe scrambles it away as the Moors cling on. It comes back towards Leighton, and Archer chases him down. Now Davis being chased down by Carl Storr, and Storr does get a block. Falls nicely for the Wrexham man, though. Durrell will try and... Well, he'll keep it in play easily in the end. I said he was going to scramble initially. Now the cross will come in. Oh, and slipping there was a Moors defender, but eventually it is cleared towards Archer, who can't keep control of it against Keller. Now Vassell, Record to Davis on the left-hand side. Jeffrey is there down the line if he wants him. Williams makes a challenge. That looks like that's a Moors ball, and the linesman makes the right call. Linesman didn't have a very good view of that one at all. We saw perfectly it came off of Jeffrey there, but the linesman makes the call, and now we will see Jamie Osborne onto the field. And coming off, just trying to get some indication of the man who is making way. Can only assume it's going to be James Ball. And indeed it is. So the goal scorer, James Ball, departs. On the verge of stoppage time, and Jamie Osborne will see his first few minutes of action in this National League season. How key is Jamie Osborne going to be in the Moors' promotion ambition? 6 minutes of stoppage time for the Moors to survive. Tyrone Williams getting the ball down the line, looking for Maycock. It's hit high by Record. Carter just nodding it down towards Hancock's, and Hancock's will clear long, look to try and get Archer into play. Vassell gets to the ball. Storer looking to win on the overlap. No free kick going the Moors' way. Davis just letting the ball run there for Kelleher. Players standing off him initially. Long ball was an option. Free kick is going to go Wrexham's way as Hall Johnson is just clipped there. Looks like it was Osborne on that challenge. So this presumably is going to be Keldon. Looks like it's Davis who's on it as we enter the second minute of 6. Jeffrey, Vassell, Thomas, Kelleher, Ponticelli, all in a line. Ball coming in low, and Gleeson just getting on the end of it in the end. Now it could come for Archer. He'll do well to hold up the ball here, and he does shave off the challenge of Hall Johnson. That's great play from Archer. Now Cranston looking to play across the field. Maybe just a bit too adventurous at this point, but Storer was in a decent position if the ball would have gotten there. Comes back to Leighton. Long ball coming towards Thomas. Howe heads it, but it's towards the sideline rather than long. Tyrone Williams just trying to win the ball, but he's a bit late on that challenge on Young. Might have thought we'd have seen a card coming there, but not late enough. by the referee's judgment. But this is going to be another dangerous set piece coming into the Moors box. They've won all of them so far. But with the likes of Kwame Thomas being the aerial threats, there's always that risk of danger. As to Kelleher is in there, and the ball actually comes towards Hall Johnson. He's forced to head it backwards. It could come towards Davis, but Durrell gets it. Now be chipped by... Oh, and a chance here. But Langton is alert to it. Right on his halfway line. Clears it. Very, very high. Comes right to Storer, but he can't control it. Goes to Young. Jeffrey now. Back to Record. Maycock tries to charge down the cross. It's going to come towards Thomas. Over Thomas. Arrives with Hall Johnson. Attack still alive. Durrell hits it high. Howie's in position to head it away. It's going to go right back towards there. Looks like Davis, who's furthest back there now. Record just trying to work it back. Archer not giving up on it. Kelleher playing as an emergency striker at the moment. Hard collision between he and Cranston, but the ball could be slotted through towards Durrell. Can he fire across goal? Just wide. I think it's taken a deflection. Indeed it has. Reece Hall Johnson is screaming at Durrell. Why didn't you play it outside? But Durrell had an angle to aim for there for sure. It's going to be Young trying to curl in the corner. That goal-saving deflection, keeping the Moors in the lead, but it's going to come right into the area and headed wide in the end by Vassell. He wasn't quite free, but he was just trying to get it across into the far corner. But it's gone wide, and the Moors survive as we reach what we must be in now, the fourth or maybe even the fifth minute of stoppage time. I mean, +4. According to my watch. I don't have the same watch you do watching. We are, of course, starting to head towards full times in the National League. We have Kings Lynn, of course, Saturday's opponents. They've managed to come back from that deficit at Maidenhead. They've won 3-2, so they'll be full of confidence with 4 points. Coming here on Saturday is... Langton gets it cleared towards Pondicherry, goes over him. Williams wins the header, gets it towards Maycock, who picks out Archer, but I think Archer might have been offside, and the flag, is that for offside? It is indeed. So here we go. This really, truly is Hail Mary time. Langton from right on the goal line, right on the halfway line, excuse me. Looking for a goal, of course, looking for a lifeline. Coming towards Kelleher, I thought might have been offside, but it didn't get all the way to him in the end. Hancock just tries to see it out, but he's tripped there, Davis, and there's going to be one more. Dangerous moment to survive. Langton's going to come forward here. Only man not in the penalty box other than Davis and Jamie Record is the only other man. Jeffrey just lined up right on the edge of the area. Oh, and there could be a bit of an argument here coming between Vassell and his opposite number, Carl Storer. Hard to tell who initiated that. Referee having absolutely none of it. He's had kept good control of it tonight. Now the ball is going to come in and beyond in the end, and corner. Young is going to race across this left-hand side. Langton staying forward. He's now in a bit of a shoving match with Storer and with his opposite number. Here it comes. It's going to go beyond everyone, but could come back to Kwame Thomas. Going to try and head it across and flicked on, and could be a chance. There's a man gone down, but there's never going to be a penalty. And now it's that Hall Johnson, I think, trying to keep it alive, but it's gone beyond. And there you go. That is that. The Moors have their first points of the season. They've beaten Wrexham by 1-0 here at the Sport Nation .bet Stadium. And you can see the... It's almost, even with the face mask, you can see the relief clearly on the eyes of some of the Moors officials and the board. We'd see Darryl Eales, I believe, just standing just towards the top row in the middle of the top tier of the stand here, the main stand, of course, here at Damson Park. And I think that was much needed, just given, of course, the fact that the Moors were really looking to take 3 points at Woking. And for 45 minutes, they were well on track to do so, but they stayed disciplined for 90 minutes here tonight. And it was James Ball whose header at the near post. It was flicked on, just glanced into the net, really off of Jordan Cranston's corner. And that proved to be the difference between the two sides. Wrexham came very close in the first half that really, you'd have to say, they were relatively in control of. Rutherford having that shot that was deflected and Ryan Boot managing to tip it onto the crossbar. It bounced right on the goal line, but it was not to be for Wrexham, as they have been beaten here 1-0 at the SportNation.bet Stadium. And of course, that mirrors the result that we had a couple of seasons ago, where the Moors knocked Wrexham off the top of the table. So the Moors get their season on track here at Damson Park. And we do thank you, those of you who have tuned in on Solihull Moors TV through this live stream. I am aware that there have been some issues with the stream throughout the course of the evening, and we do apologise if there has been any issues that have resulted in some unintended consequences for you in terms of being able to view this game. But hopefully you'll be able to enjoy more of the game on Saturday, where of course it is Kings Lynn who visit here on Saturday, and they'll be full of confidence, having turned over that result against Maidenhead. They were 2-1 down, winning 3-2 and getting the draw in the dying moments against Yeovil. And they actually come into the game with more points than the Moors, but the Moors will be looking to usurp them on Saturday. But for now, it is good night from ourselves here at the SportNation.bet Stadium, where the Moors have won 1-0 against Wrexham.